Welcome to our lecture online. Our next example is a rather simple one, but yet it does show the technique of how we're going to find the area of revolution or surface of revolution. So what we're doing here is we're taking a straight line that has a slope b over a. Notice that x equals a over here and y equals b over there. And then we're going to revolve that around the x-axis, creating a cone, and now we're going to try to calculate the surface of that cone. So the way that's done is you take the radius, which means from the x-axis to the edge of the surface, in any direction doesn't matter, but in the straight upward direction we have y equals the function of x, which represents the radius of very small delta L that then rotates around the axis to give you a small little dA, like a little ring around the x-axis like this. And that means that this right here, the integrand, represents that surface area. We have 2 pi times the radius. Notice the radius right here is f of x, that's this distance. And then this represents the small little dl segment along the edge of that surface. And then when we multiply the two, we get that surface area of that small little ring. Then we integrate it over the whole distance from x equals 0 to x equals a to give us the full surface. All right, so starting with the equation f is equal to b over ax, b and a are constants. We now need to find the derivative of that. So f prime of x is simply going to be b over a. And then if we square that quantity, we get b squared over a squared. So now that goes in here, and now we know that the area is going to be equal to 2 pi times the integral from x equals 0 to x equals a of f of x. Now f of x is the function, which is b over ax. So that's b over a times x times the square root of 1 plus f prime of x squared, which is b squared over a squared times dx. And notice, luckily, everything inside the square root sign is a constant. So that comes out, this comes out as well, b over a. So we end up with a is equal to 2 pi times b over a times the square root of 1 plus, that would be b squared over a squared, so b. And then we have the integral of x dx from 0 to a. And that, of course, is easy to integrate. That's unusual for these types of problems. We have an easy integral. So we end up with a is equal to 2 pi. Now, could we multiply that in here? We could, but I don't think we need to. So b over a times the square root of 1 plus b squared over a squared. And then when we integrate this, we get x squared over 2, evaluated from 0 to a. Of course, when we plug in the lower limit, we get nothing. Plug in the upper limit. Well, let's see what happens. First of all, the 2's cancel out, so this 2 cancels out with this 2. We get an a squared there. So we have area of this is equal to pi a squared b over a. When we plug in the upper limit, times the square root of 1 plus b squared over a squared. Then, of course, this a cancels out this a. And I guess we just leave it like this, that the area is equal to pi times ab times the square root of 1 plus b squared over a squared. And of course, you can rearrange this a little bit, but that's probably good enough. Actually, if we look at it closely, we can probably simplify that some more. So we can write this as a is equal to pi ab times the square root of, if I write this over a common denominator, I end up with a squared plus b squared over a squared. And of course, if I take that out of the radical, I get an a over a cancels, so this a cancels out this a squared. And then, of course, it looks a little bit more simplified. We get pi times b times the square root of a squared plus b squared. And that's probably a good simplified form to leave it as. And that is how we find the surface area of that cone.